Hello everyone. Today we're going to be solving the midterm exam of the year 2022. So the first question is, what are the balance sheet's function? The correct answer are A and B. It indicates the financial resources and their uses by the company, and B, it establishes the company's financial position and balance sheet date. Now, question number 2. Who are the users of the financial information? For this case, all of the answers are correct. The auditor, the consumer, the shareholders, and the state treasury are all users of the financial information. However, we need to remember that there are several other users of financial information, such as creditors or the government, and many other more. Now, question number 3. Where in the balance sheet can the VAT collected from the customers be found? And the correct answer is A, tax liabilities. Because we need to remember that VAT collected from consumers is like money that the company temporarily holds for the government. That money is meant to be given to them on a future, so they are basically owing money. That's why the VAT collected is located on the tax liabilities. Question number 4. Which of the following are included in the income statement? So for this case, only A, other operating expenses, C, operating expenses, and F, financial expenses are the correct ones. Because B, short term debt, is a liability in the balance sheet, and D, non current assets, and E, cash and cash equivalents, are assets. Therefore, they're not on the income statement. Question number 5. Which of the following regarding the double entry bookkeeping are true? The correct answers are A and C. A, the sum of the receipts is equal to the sum of the disbursements because of the double entry bookkeeping that ensures every financial transaction has equal debits and credits. And option C, by convention, an increase in financing appears on the debit side. For example, when a company borrows money from a bank, it is essentially increasing its liabilities. That means the obligation to repay the loan, and increasing its cash assets. That means the actual money received. So to maintain the balance, the increase is going to be recorded in the liabilities on the credit side. An increase in cash is going to be recorded on the debit side. Question number 6. Which of the following statements are true? The correct answers are B, C, and D. B, accounting is an information system because it provides essential data for decision making and reporting. C, accounting provides information for statistics and national accounting, as accounting data can be used in broader economic statistics and national accounting systems to measure and analyze economic activity on a national or international scale. And D, accounting is a representation instrument as it summarizes financial transactions and events in a structured manner through financial statements. Question 7. What is the amount of operating expenses? For this one, we need to remember that operating expenses equals all of the expenses that allow your company to work. Therefore, it includes inventories expense, staff cost, other operating expenses, and depreciation expenses. Here, we do not include tax expenses as they can be operating and non-operating expenses. So the sum will be of 457,000 from inventories expense plus 304,000 from staff cost plus 59,000 from other operating expenses plus 12,000 from depreciation expenses, which will give us a sum of 832,000 euros. Question 8. Where in the income statement can an insurance premium be found? For this question, it's pretty easy. The insurance premium is found in other operating expenses, so it's 59,900, the correct answer, which is letter B. Question 9. Which of the following are included in the balance sheet? The correct answers are B, inventories, D, trade and other receivables, E, financial investments, and F, tax liabilities. A and C are not correct, as the gross operating profit is a component of a company's income statement, so it is not part of the balance sheet. And financial expenses are also part of the income statement, so they're also not part of the balance sheet. Question number 10. Who are the users of the financial information? So for this question, all of them are correct. Shareholders, social partners, business partners, and the state, according to the IFRS standards, are all users of the financial information. Question 11. Which of the following are included in the income statement? The correct answers are A. Depreciation expenses, B. Financial expenses, and E. Income taxes. Because C, D, and F, which are cash and cash equivalents, tax liabilities, and non-current taxes, are all on the balance sheet. Question 12. What is the value of non-current assets of the company Alpha? So in order to calculate the value of the non-current assets, we need to identify them and add them all together. For this example, it's the sum of intangible assets, PPE, non-current investments, and other financial assets. So the calculation is going to be of 34,500 plus 62,300 plus 18,700 plus 2,200, which will give us a total of 117,700, which is letter A. Question 13. Which of the following documents do not entail an accounting entry? So the correct answers are A and C. A, the purchase order, because it recognizes an obligation to pay the supplier for the goods and services received. And option C, the estimates for work, as it is used for planning and budgeting purposes, but doesn't impact the company's financial records until the actual work is performed. Question 14. Who certifies a company's accounts? So the answer is letter C, the auditor, because he authorizes to review and verify the accuracy of financial records and ensures that companies comply with the tax law. Question 15. Which amount is equal to the total revenue of the period? So in order to find the total revenue, we just need to locate the net income, which is the value of the total revenue. So the answer is letter D, 8,000. Question 16. A purchase was made and journalized on May 1st of year end. On July 1st, Nano settled its supplier. Which movement should be registered as of July 1st? So the correct answers are C and E. The cash account is credited and the trade payable account is debited. Because you settled to your supplier in July 1st, you paid back what you owe them. Therefore, your own cash will decrease, leading to a credit of the cash account. However, the money goes somewhere, and therefore your trade and payable account is going to be debited. Question 17. Which framework is applicable in Europe for the consolidated accounts of listed companies? The correct answer is the first one, letter A, the IFRS. The IFRS is the International Financial Reporting Standards that are a set of accounting standards commonly used in Europe. So that's the correct answer. Question number 18. The company Nano contracts on January 1st of year end a loan of 10,000 euros, repayable annually over 5 years by 2,000 euros. The annual rate is 5%. Which movements should be journalized as of January 1st? So the correct answers are C, the cash account is debited by 10,000 euros, and F, the borrowing account is credited by 10,000. On January 1st, the only movement you made was to take the loan, meaning that no repayments have been made. When contracting a loan, you get paid on your cash account the amount of the loan, which is 10,000. This means that your cash account was debited of 10,000. Question 19. What is the minimum periodicity of financial statements? Publication of companies. The correct answer is letter C, annually. The financial statements have to be done minimum once a year. Therefore, the correct answer is letter C. Question 20. On December 1st of year end, Nano consumes a service for which the company receives the invoice on the same day. On December 23rd of the year end, the company settled the supplier. Which movements should be journalized on the 1st of December? The correct answers are letter D. The account other expenses is debited, and F, the account trade and other payables is credited. And that is because on December 1st, you still haven't paid back your supplier, which means that you still owe your supplier money. It is an expense, so your other expense account will be debited. and the trade payable account will be credited. Question 21. Which of the following are included in the balance sheet? The correct answers are B. Long-term assets, C. Stockholders' equity, and F. Liability. The rest of them are incorrect, as financial revenues, purchases consumed, which means related to cost of goods sold, and operating expenses are part of the income statement and not the balance sheet. Question 22. The account cash in hand, the correct answer is going to be A. Can have a debit or credit balance, because the account cash in hand can have either a debit or a credit balance depending on the transactions and activities of the business. Question 23. According to the International Accounting Standard Board, the IASB, to which user is information in the financial statements in priority aimed to? The correct answer is C. The current and potential investors. Even though financial statements are publicly available, the primary focus is on serving the needs to investors. Question 24. In which part of the balance sheet can the account softwords be found? The correct answer is letter D, intangible assets, as the softwords are classified as the non-current assets on the balance sheet. Okay, last question. A bank pays 3.25% interest compounded annually. If real number T represents years needed for 12,000 to grow to 16,000, then T is find the closest answer. So here we know that A equals 16,000, P equals 12,000, the interest is 3.25%, and what we need to find here is the T, which means years. So in order to solve this equation, you need to use the following formula. A equals P parentheses 1 plus I parentheses to the power of T. So we're going to have 16,000 equals 12,000 parentheses 1 plus 0.0325 parentheses to the power of T. Then we're going to sum it up to 16,000 equals 12,000 parentheses 1.0325 to the power of T. We're going to then divide the 16,000 divided by the 12,000, which is going to be equal to 1.0325 to the power of T. So now we're going to make use of the function ln parentheses 16,000 divided by 12,000 parentheses, which is going to be equal to T times ln parentheses 1.0325 parentheses. And now we're going to use the ln parentheses 16,000 divided by 12,000 parentheses and divide all of it by ln parentheses 1,0325 parentheses, and it's going to be equal to the time, which means the years. And our final answer is going to be T equals 9. Thank you for listening. Good luck on your midterm. Adios.